September 12th, 2017. Welcome back. Good to have you here. I'm excited. The energy's back. We had to take a week off to deal with our stardom selves. And now it almost seems like we have a new, fresh take on the show.
And not only that, I don't care what you guys say, I'm not working on September 11th. So that was the other reason.
Oh, of course. We understand that. It did fall on a Monday. Who wants to work on Mondays, honestly, when it comes to weekend?
Only people that work raw on Mondays because they got to work Christmas this year.
Those guys who used to do shows on, like, Wednesdays. You go up to, like, North Bay or some reserve in, like, Quebec. I mean, Ernie Todd would do it all the time. He'd do a tour, and it's like these kids who honestly have nothing better to do. You'd go to a show on, like, a Tuesday night, and you feel almost guilty. You're like, these kids, you know, they could be doing their homework on time, watching the last primetime slot show, and going to bed at a decent time, and here they are watching Frank Thorne with a Tim Horton shirt and...
the worst position to be in when it comes to a scenario like that, there's been two times that I've worked with a higher profile promoter that is coming into your town and he wants you to be the local promoter.
Of course,
and
yeah.
The worst thing with those guys is when you got to push their show.
Yeah.
And they're renting a college on midweek. They want to sell out there, and you say, hey, like, you know, it's a hard sell on a Wednesday, and they don't want to hear that. They're like, no, I run shows every day of the week. We've sold out this and that, and then the pressure's on you to sell these tickets.
Yeah.
It happened to me one time. I tried to do a show with Scott, and Scott started yelling at me because I was like, man, I don't know if Friday night at the Serbian Hall is a hard sell. You know that, Hipstar.
Yeah.
And he was like, I run shows every day of the week. I'm like, okay, oh, fuck, then why am I doing the work? You run it then.
Oh, but it's got my logos. My logos for the promotion. They'll draw. Everybody loves Intense Max Pro. They're all going to come just to see that on a Tuesday night. $30 tickets. You damn right.
I don't know, man. Like, some guys used to just give in. Like, you would take some of these... I don't want to mention any names, but like you're a guy at the level of like a Ryan Swift or something on one of the Northerns that would just pay their way into the fucking shows. They sell 15 tickets and say, because they can't sell them.
Of course.
You know? And that's what's going on with these promoters is they come into our towns, tell us to sell all their shit, and they get mad at us and don't give us any fucking cut of the money or anything. Because it wasn't up to your satisfaction. You need $500 per show. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. Well, that's just an example of nobody working together. Everybody's in it for themselves. That's what an independent business is. We get it, sure.
If you take a look at the Crossfire Wrestling page, who they seem to think, and you know, I guess rightfully so, maybe they're one of the higher promotions in the Niagara end. But if anybody notices, I'm doing all the work! I'm the one cutting every promo week after week.
It's true.
I don't see Dieter. I don't see the vets. I don't see anybody else cutting promos but me.
It's true.
So pay me.
And another selfish independent artist mode, too, where all these indie workers, you don't see them doing much social media work. They're not doing a daily podcast. They're not on there doing their 30-second promos. And if they try for something like exquisite like Smash, then it's a 3-minute promo. Come on, Tarek, you gotta do a little better than that. It's so unnecessary. I mean, come on, guys. It's true. You're a manager who's getting heat for, you know, being associated with some show that likes to talk shit about him. Sure, I can see where that goes. Yeah. But you're doing all the promos, you're doing all the work. I don't necessarily agree with all the promos, Jay. I mean, like, we gotta evolve from the old days of just calling people ugly. You can't beauty shame anymore, man. Like, we're way past that. Like, I thought, like, you'd learn by now.
I didn't call anybody ugly. I did not call
you called Bia ugly. That's like the second line you say on your promos.
Listen to me. I put a public service announcement out there to put your glasses on when you're watching the solar eclipse, and someone didn't put their glasses on.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with their ugliness. All it has to do with is I put a PSA out there, and what happened? Just like you never do, you never listen to me because everybody's on a higher fucking pedestal than the shows I'm on. Because I work a show over here, and I'm not on your fucking show. I guess you're better than me when I'm the one giving you a PSA.
In all fairness, it's not the most flattering angles of you. I mean, the chin shot from the chin up isn't always the best shot. So maybe there's some cinematography,
Well, all right.
camera work we can work on, maybe. But other than that, you're right. The context was there. What more do you want from me?
What I am trying to do is hold my phone by myself and rest my elbow on my armrest so that I get a even camera shot, and I don't care about the chin flap. I just kind of leave it there.
Yeah.
Because I'm older, and but the thing is, it takes me 2 seconds to cut these promos, and then these promoters keep telling me that all these guys that he asks for promos, it takes them forever, they got to properly produce something. No, you fucking don't. All you have to do is turn on your phone and cut a promo.
Well, they gotta...
What is this?
Practice it in front of the mirror a couple times. They got to practice and write down what they say. They got to make sure, the proper usage of if and of and is. And I understand they need to make sure that, they're perfectionists. Sure. They don't necessarily show it all the time in their in-ring work. But, we need to work a little more for promoting shows. Hutch seemed to be the only guy that would make an effort. Group message like, hey guys, we're a week before the show. Can somebody please put up a promo? Like that will increase his ticket sales. Usually they do, but not a week before the show when he's all manic and he hasn't made an effort to promote or sell tickets.
I will refuse. I am going on record right now.
Okay.
I refuse to go to Hogtown's next show until I see a Jimmy Gaff promo.
Okay.
Because I'm coming for the local favorite. If the local favorite isn't cutting a promo, what's the point?
No, you're absolutely right. We're in this time where independent wrestling, I get it. Everybody's working for themselves. Hutch is super manic because he's, only had bad publicity for this show. So he thinks bad publicity. Sure, we argue that. We're still talking about your show, so what? What's the big deal? We're the only people doing it.
All right, well...
But it's true.
Hold on, no. I never, on my end, maybe I need to put a disclaimer up for the people that don't understand. I'm not trying to give anybody good publicity or bad publicity. I'm talking from the heart.
Okay.
And this is how I felt about Hogtown, and this is my reflections and my takeaways from Hogtown. Why you don't like me, Hutch, is because I have an opinion, which I'm much more experienced than what you are and what you'll ever be.
True.
I'm much more of a success in this business than what you'll ever be. Yeah. Why you're throwing a big fucking snit fit over something that I gave an opinion about on my own show? Like, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Fuck. You need everybody to latch on to. You need help. You need help, and I understand that, and I'm not against helping. I think I've helped for the past 3 fucking years, 4 years, however long the goddamn show's been on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I did a pretty fucking good job, and I think you did too, Hipstar. So for you to shit on us, because all we try to do is help, and all of a sudden you're Vince McMahon or you're Frank Tunney or somebody, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Your show is going to have... You're giving away free tickets. That's how bad your show is.
Yeah.
You understand? It doesn't draw anything. You got no revenue.
It got to that point, didn't it? It got to that point where he booked these 2 dates for the Rock Pile, and then as he got closer to him, he kind of realized, shit, I don't have anything to do.
That's right. I don't live in the area. Something that we were saying. Hutch, how many times did I say, how are you going to post to the area? Oh, no, no, I guess I don't know. I guess I've never run a show before. Is that right, Hutch?
Yeah.
I guess not.
That's the
now
attitude.
You're giving away free tickets like WCW.
I'm saying this because, the Hutchies and the Buckies weren't around these times, so they don't know about, the team spirit or the motivation and team collab behind the whole Ontario indie wrestling scene. We used to be completely supportive of each other. Sure, you get those dicks stepping on each other's toes. You're going to get that no matter what. You're going to get like a 13-year-old me writing a thread talking about how much Sniper Randy Vaughn sucks because I was angry that he got a booking over me. That shit's going to happen no matter what. But all the promotions made an effort of working together. At least they made sure they weren't stepping on each other's venues, dates. They were doing shit. Now, it's such a messy looking hodgepodge. We're at this dire time where we need team spirit more than ever. We got some goober out there who really looks like he hasn't wrestled or trained more than 2 years, I'm guessing. He looks like a basic crater wrestler goober, and his big gimmick right now that's getting over is hashtag fuck Ontario, classic Ontario. Because he's out in New Brunswick, he's talking about how bad Ontario is, and you know what? He's absolutely right. He did not have this on us 5 to 10 years ago, but now we look so messy where like the big Ontario shows coming for September barely have any Ontario talent in there. They wanted their shows to look like something else, like some Shakara ripoff, like some absolutely out of the town, have to drive to Syracuse in order to see this shit. It has nothing to do with our region. It's disrespectful. It's losing the tradition, and it's really what you're going to get when you get these GoobTube boys who just want to mark out and book whoever looks cool on PWG. It's terrible. We got to change this, man.
Oh, for me, it's been better. It feels like fucking weight off of my shoulders. I'm so happy not to be affiliated with Hogtown Pro or Hutch Henry moving forward. Them all. It's also such people believing that wrestling is real, people forcing the boys to dress in their homemade costumes that he made in his house. You know, you got to dress like a cat because
yeah, it's true.
Because I don't know, man.
No, you're right.
I just like going to a locker room where the guys want to do performance art, like what I do. I like to cut a couple promos, maybe throw some heat into a match. You know, as long as the fans leave satisfied.
Yeah.
I don't need to be, stumbling into some venue with Ricky Johnson and Jeannie Johnson, and that's all I got to say with because
it's true. I agree, man.
Oh God. Damn, I can't even think of it anymore. I have to move on.
The promotion.
We have to stop talking about Hogtown.
Just like
Fuck
you said,
it. I don't want to talk about it. It's a free show. It's going to be the less draw out of a fucking show in Ontario and still have free tickets. Like, how can that be? How can you give away free tickets and still not draw?
Classic mistake. I've taken so much time to promote the show, get the posters out there and all that sense, and then, 2 weeks before the show, then you announce that it's free tickets, because then it kind of looks like a desperate attempt. It's because he went ahead of himself, way ahead of himself, and booked all these Shakara guys, GoobTube trained.
And the fact that he actually went out and postered after he announced it was a free show makes no sense either. Like, you're supposed to poster when the show's ticketed, not when it's free. That's a waste of money and energy, Hutch.
Well, not necessarily. They still need to know that it's free anyways. Anyways, no matter what, you're right. It's not an environment where people come in and they know what to expect. They know what they're doing. There's no surprises. This is a Build-A-Bear workshop promotion where people come in and it's like chickens with their head cut off, where they're like, what are we doing? Who's got the book? What position are we? They're just all so confused, and that's just a case of promoters not leading their troupe, not running their show properly and authoritatively as it should to, put some organization into this fucking pond. Instead, we get a bunch of hutches who go to Value Village and buy a bunch of fabric and be like, oh, a mermaid man. Oh, a mermaid luchador. That's brilliant. El Mermaidado.
I remember working for your father, PWA Niagara, and I just remember the passion that he had for his promotion, and what he taught me as I was breaking in PWA and what it meant to me. And I remember, like, Pete had such a passion for running shows. Mm-hmm. This is what Hutch is missing, where Pete would actually pay me, you, and Whitey to rip down the Chuck Simpson posters and get rid of them and put his own PWA posters, because Pete was taking over the town and Chuck was on his way out, so we're not even fucking sharing the same town, let alone the same venue. We would rip that shit down out of all his sponsors and put our PWA Niagara posters up, and we didn't give a fuck. And that's what we got to get back to. That's the kind of shit we got to get back to. Guys that didn't give a fuck. Promotions need to be here because they deserve to be here, because the promotions got balls. We're not dancing around cat uniforms, teaming up with teddy bears in our fucking tag matches.
Or, don't be contradictory to what I just said, and try to work together. It's up to you. We could start a union, or we could rip down each other's posters. Something that Hutch also claims that happened to him, but I can't think of a competitor that would want to do that to him right now. But no matter, it's only a Tuesday. Glad to have you back, eh? Thanks to Wade Busewell and all the tweets out there asking where the fuck we were. It's okay.
Happy birthday, bro.
Tonight on Hip Star Tonight.